There was once a king, powerful, celebrated, the kind of king whose name filled a room before he entered it. And he was suffering. Not from enemies, not from drought or war, but from something harder to name. The swings of his own mind. The way joy collapsed without warning into despair. The way despair lifted just as suddenly into something almost unbearable. He called his wise men. "I want you to make me a ring," he said. "A ring with an inscription, one sentence, that I can look at whenever I need it. When I am too happy, when I am too sad. A sentence that is true for both." The wise men went away and argued, for days, for weeks. Because this was not a simple request. Any fool can write words of comfort. Any fool can write words of celebration. But one sentence, true in both directions, equally, simultaneously, that is a different kind of wisdom entirely. Finally, one among them went to a Sufi master, a dervish who lived at the edge of the desert, and asked for help. The dervish sat in silence for a while. Then he smiled and wrote 4 words on a small piece of paper. The wise man brought the paper to a goldsmith, who inscribed the words inside a ring of gold. And the ring was brought to the king. The king looked at it for a long time. He was in one of his dark moods that day, heavy, hopeless, the kind of morning where everything feels permanent. He read the inscription, and something lifted, not because the words were comforting, though they were, but because they were true, and he knew they were true, and the truth of them reached somewhere deeper than comfort. Some weeks later, the kingdom received extraordinary news. A victory, a celebration, the whole court erupting in joy. The king at the center of it all, laughing, elated, the kind of happiness that feels like it will never end. And he looked at his ring and felt something very different from what he expected. Not sadness, but stillness. A quiet reminder that this too, this joy, this brightness, this moment of feeling like everything had finally worked out, would also pass. The inscription inside the ring was this: "This too shall pass." 4 words, and yet, in grief they say, "Hold on, this will not last forever. The darkness always moves." In joy they say, "Be here, be grateful, do not grip too tightly. This too is passing even as you hold it." The words do not take away the grief or diminish the joy. They simply return you to the only place any of it actually happens. This moment, which is already becoming the next one. I'll leave you with one question today. Is there something you are holding right now, in grief or in joy, that might feel different if you remembered that it too is passing? This has been The Long Thread, ancient stories for the present moment. Tomorrow, another thread.